Okay, hey y'all, late night live. Let me go get this shared on my wall. Uh, uh. So let me share this in a couple of groups. After I share this on my wall. Gotta do all this extra shit because they blocking me from going live on Facebook. Gotta shut me down. Just gonna share in a couple of groups before I get started. They like to limit me all the time. Let's see what else. I'm gonna put this in. Four minutes. Okay, let me one more group. Okay. I ain't got nobody watching them, but let me go anyway. Because they want to suppress me, so I just do it without nobody here. Now, Corey Goode dropped a new update today, which was a good update, talking about they found a new insider that might have been in the Dark Fleet. But the other thing about this update is the fact that SSP Alliance is saying that they're going to make it impossible for partial disclosure to occur. So that was some good news with Corey Goode new update. Because ever since Disclosure Fest, I've been sitting there wondering, like, what the hell can I do to make this go faster? To make disclosure go faster. I don't know what the hell this is. I know we ain't sharing this thing passed away. But so I sit there, was thinking the whole day, and I was watching some old episodes of Cosmic Disclosure today, and it was like with this update, it related to those old episodes of Cosmic Disclosure, because he talked about this tour on the moon, which was in one of the episodes of Cosmic Disclosure, and saying he was gonna get an update, like the episodes out, so they say gonna get an update in future or when they can release the information. And then in this new update today, Corey Goode released, more information about that, and saying that update's still coming. Now that was synchronistic because I was just watching some episode, old episode, just to, just to get some idea, trying to figure out where things stand with disclosure. Because I'm not tired of waiting on this alliance for the to get disclosure. I'm about tired of waiting on this alliance. Let me go try to tag some of my friends. With Facebook is just a nuisance. So like I said, ever since the this Disclosure Fest thing, I've been like, what in the hell is anything, like today, I was like, is there anything I could do, wake up tomorrow to make sure disclosure happens by the end of this year? Because Corey Goode always talk about what the power of the mass conscious to affect what timeline we're going to experience or how we're going to get disclosure. Well, how the fuck does that actually work? Why the fuck do we employ that? So that's what I was just thinking about the whole day. So I was going back watching old episodes of Cosmic Disclosure, and also some of Alex Carrier old lectures from the 90s talking about basically, disclosure. Just looking for answers, searching, looking for answers today. I didn't know Corey Good gonna drop this major update, which is very interesting, which I'm gonna talk about. But like I said, I was just thinking today, like, well, keep talking about the co-creative conscious, mass conscious is going to determine when we're gonna get disclosure. So what the fuck does that mean? How the hell you do that? How you employ that practically? You know, how the fuck that works? So they had this update drop today that was synchronistic with when I was watching the episode, and it relates to an episode I was watching. I don't know what's going on with that. I was thinking like, did I have something to do with that? Because I was disillusioned. You know, I was like, I was a little frustrated because after Disclosure Fest, I was like, well, okay, we everybody here, because Disclosure Fest pulled in 20,000 people. They said, and I said everybody here is want disclosure. So what the fuck we got to do to make sure this thing happens much faster? Everybody they're citing, we just sitting there waiting, and then we keep hearing from like Q ain't really talking about ETs or anything related to disclosure. Just keep talking about this slow walk, annoying, waiting on this Pfizer thing, which I really do not care about. Because there's the small potatoes. But that's all we've been waiting on that. And people get excited about, well, because Q will drop next week. But then next week come, nothing happens. Then they get disappointed. So it's like, ugh, I'm about sick of this bullshit. So like Corey Good said, well, our mass conscious is going to determine when you're going to get disclosure and all that. Well, how the fuck does that work? How the fuck do you do that? Where do you get that from? How do you go about doing that? So that's what I was thinking about today. I don't know what the hell this is. So I was sitting there thinking, well, how the fuck you go about doing that? How do you sit there, use your mass conscious? And because this has not been the strive to me, how the fuck you actually do that? So let me see, and I found this article that I was looking at today. I don't think I put it in this one. This article called it's by Mom Talk, July 2004, the Mom Talk website, and a lot of y'all probably ain't gonna know nothing about that. True reality creation. And let me see if I find this section that relate to that manifestation stuff that you hear light workers talk about. I'm trying to find this. Okay, say manifestation involves intent, the application of will in a particular direction of desired experience. This direction is available only if one is aware of its possibility. Therefore, ignorance cannot protect against anything. Protecting against an attack must be based upon awareness of many ways such as attack can happen. Now, what this section is talking about, well, the title of this section talking about if you don't believe in evil, it cannot harm you because it will not exist in your reality. This is what light workers deceive themselves into believing. You know, like you just ignore the evil and it won't do nothing to you, which is wrong. So with this manifestation involving intent, it didn't say particular desired experience. Well, that gotta be right. The experience gotta be the timeline. So will, you know, is the most important part of, you know, how you get to the timeline, whether it's the timeline that you desire. So how the hell this relates to the co-creative, you know, consciousness or mass consciousness that Corey Goode talks about? Well, everybody got competing wills. Everybody will is not the same, and everybody not desiring the same timeline of experience. Some people got selfish desires, which has been probably been what's been creating the Mandela effect, is people with their intent and their desires, they've been desiring timelines based off their own selfishness. And with a co-creative the co-creative consciousness at play, that's the selfishness doesn't work because it doesn't take into account of everybody else. It's only doing it for themselves. So with the Mandela effect, people was experiencing timelines that wasn't compatible with the rest of the co-creative consciousness. So those timelines basically was like a branch on a tree that died, didn't grow anymore. So like I said, with the co-creative mass consciousness and how to apply that to what the timeline we desire is the will. The will is an important part about it. Now the will, like I said, everybody ain't got the same will. The same some people's wills are weaker than others. And the thing I was thinking about today is this alliance that's holding back disclosure. Because they keep saying, well, humanity ain't ready yet. Because you've been following the Corey Goode updates. Keep talking about that they've been negotiating. The Earth Alliance has been negotiating with the SSP Alliance, and the Earth Alliance trying to push this partial disclosure because they don't think humanity's ready for the rest of it. Well, that's based off of fear. And if it's based off of fear, that means their will is weak. And we got these weak-willed motherfuckers sitting here determining when we can have disclosure or not. And that's what I was thinking about earlier today before I went to the plantation. I was like, why the fuck we got these weak-willed motherfuckers sitting here determining when we gonna have disclosure or not? Because they're not ready, because they think they're scared for our sake. But a lot of people, like when I went at Disclosure Fest, a lot of people had strong will there. They ready for this. They more braver than this alliance because they weren't about keeping this secret. So they living in fear that they're gonna break open and then they can't control it. And then when you in fear, you basing stuff, you want to control something. That's your desire to control if you coming from fear. So, you know, it's like, what the fuck? Why the fuck we gotta wait for these motherfuckers sitting here when they gonna determine when we gonna have, you know, disclosure? So we got some, basically, if you can use the analogy, we got some weak-willed, cowardly motherfuckers determining when the fuck humanity gonna, you know, become part of the Galactic Society, because they not ready to reveal it yet, so they keeping everything secret. So that's the annoying thing that's been annoying me since the goddamn Disclosure Fest, because all those people they're optimistic about the future. optimistic about disclosure. You know, people there thinking, well, it's about to happen soon. You know, and it's like, come on, it ain't happened yet. What the fuck we waiting on? So, and as we keep hearing this alliance, or whoever, the good guys, whoever, you know, they not ready to reveal this. They want to control this, like the solar observatory with the that they mysteriously shut down, the one in, of course, I think it was called Sunspot, New Mexico, and then you had all these other solar observatories shut down around the world. Well, Simon Parkes, you know, the fourth density mantic contactee, was told that, well, that was the people in the Trump administration, but probably in the Trump administration, it'd probably be this Earth Alliance that is backing Trump. But this is much deeper. And a lot of people, even with the people following Q, they keep thinking that, you know, Trump is behind all this. And all. This is much bigger than Trump, much bigger than Putin. You talking about a galactic war going on here. Humanity is in the middle of a galactic war. Humanity is an important, you know, prize in this war. And that's what a lot of people ain't understanding when they keep following Q and they think, well, it's just, you know, Trump making these decisions and doing this, and no, this is much deeper than that. You don't know what's going on if you thinking that Trump is making decisions that's going to affect the entire galaxy, because that's what's really going on here. Trump is making, decisions that are being made that's going to affect the whole galaxy. And so like people following Q keep thinking, well, Trump is making all these decisions, which doesn't make any sense. Don't make any sense. Really doesn't make any sense. And the big scheme of things doesn't make any sense. So you gotta understand that some of y'all, you just don't know what's going on. This alliance what Q is talking about has been around for a long time. It ain't just started with the Q. It ain't just started with Trump. Been around a long time. The Navy is responsible for this alliance. Like this book right here by Dr. Michael E. Salla, the U.S. Navy's Secret Space Program and North Extraterrestrial Alliance, talks about the fact that the Navy, you know, is working with a Pleiadian group to build starships to deal with the Draco and Orion Empire threat in the galaxy, because they the negative groups that have been trying to conquer the galaxy, and these other positive groups have been trying to stop them from their conquest. So this alliance was started by the Navy, the U.S. Navy. So the Q group is, you know, it's working for that alliance, the Navy. It's all go back to the Navy, because the military, you know, going back a couple of decades, wasn't unified as appeared to be right now. Like the Air Force is working with the Greys for decades. The Army was working for the some other negative groups. They was also guarding the underground bases. The Air Force, of course, was working with the Greys and getting technology exchange, forming treaties. And the Navy being the main ones, making sure humanity don't go under and be conquered by these negative groups. Now that's all complicated. And there's a lot of documentaries out there, insider testimony, articles that talks about all that, and also the contactees. Let's talk about all that, about what happened with all these different groups and working with different branches of the military. But what we know now, the Navy's been the main one that's been making sure humanity don't go under, but don't get conquered. And this started back in 1950s when this Pleiadian group, don't know what star system this Pleiadian group from or what group it is, but there's some kind of what they call the Nordics, some kind of Pleiadian group. It's like a Pleiadian group, you know, contacted the U.S. Navy warned them about the Dracos, and told them about building a, helping build assist them in building a Starfleet, basically. And that Starfleet was gonna fight along this Palladian Starfleet, or this Palladian space navy, to go deal with the threats in the galaxy and stop the Dracos and the Orions from spanning their conquest of the Milky Way galaxy. But this became Solar Warden in the 1980s. It got a different name now, and it became very expansive. It's not established on, this fleet is huge and is based in, and also there's other programs out there. It's not just Solar Warden. It's different other space programs out there, and they based in several dozens and dozens of star systems in this galaxy, and some of them are based in other galaxies. So they've been busy while this, like Stephen Bassett called, the truth embargo been in place. Well, we don't know about the ET presence, and the governments are lying to us. So that's what you got to understand about that. This goes much deeper. Like if you follow the Q thing, and a lot of people still don't know that Q talked about this alliance with Russia and China working with, Trump. That was an early Q post, I think, from November 11th. Let me see, can I find that one? But that's an old Q post. Yeah, here you go, right here. Yeah, November 11th, 11:33, 51 seconds, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is basically a couple of days, like 5-6 days after the mass arrest happened in Saudi Arabia. And Q dropped this. Among some other stuff, Q said, what if China, Russia, and others are coordinating with POTUS to eliminate the NWO, or the New World Order? So this was during the time before they took care of North Korea. So Q right there was telling you that the Earth Alliance that we know from Corey Goode is real. That, it admitted it, the existence of the Earth Alliance, and people missed it. People don't refer to this Q drop. They keep thinking it's military intelligence in the U.S. Q told you that Trump is coordinating with China and Russia to deal with the New World Order, or the Illuminati, the cabal. Told you right there in that post. So a lot of people still missed the boat on that one. So, some major detail somebody didn't see at all. So you got to understand that a lot of people are missing detail because some people don't want to see this shit for what it is. So they're just missing everything. But Q admitted that this alliance that we know as the Earth Alliance, because from Corey Goode testimony, is real. So I'm gonna go over this Corey Goode update that he dropped when I was at work, and I call work the plantation because that's what it is. We were free range slaves and stuff, so you might would think it's like the plantation. For those like, what the hell are you talking about, the plantation? But Corey Goode dropped this update 3 hours ago. I don't know exact time because I'm on my phone and I can't move the mouse over the little time thing to tell you the exact time and all that. But this is what Corey Goode dropped on his Facebook, his Spirit Being Alliance Facebook page, saying, breaking. Retired Dark Fleet surgeon known as Bones provided a full briefing to the SSP Alliance. Well over a year ago, I was contacted by an elderly male who claimed he was a retired surgeon from a major U.S. military branch. He had apparently been having someone in Boulder area keep tabs on when I would be in town to shoot episodes of a series I was co-hosting. Of course, he's talking about Cosmic Disclosure. Now I went to Disclosure Fest on November 11th in Washington D.C. because that's close by. I'm 68 miles by road from that area. So I went up there, and I met Corey Goode in person. Also a lot of other people. So basically, key players in getting Disclosure. I met a lot of them in person on November 11th. I was approached by his friend, and told that a retired military surgeon wanted to talk to me about his lifelong involvement in a number of SSP-related programs, or secret space programs, but they call it SSP for short. Intuitively, I felt his friend was being truthful, so I arranged to make a long drive to a very remote location to meet this potential witness. The number of security measures was more than a bit of overkill. I kept an eye out for a situation where theater is used to affect my decision making. This is a common counterintelligence tactic and is just one among a handful of red flags I watch out for. These signs seem to be coming from a legitimate sense of anxiety from both parties involved. When we were first introduced, an elderly gentleman came walking out of an old trailer that looked like it had been on office building at various construction sites. He had came down the short wooden flight of stairs slowly, as his head seemed to be on a swivel, checking a portiere for anything suspicious. I don't know what the fuck he's saying right there, but it's a portiere. I ain't never heard that word before. He introduced himself by his real name and asked that I refer to him as Bones. I asked him if it was a reference to the Star Trek character. He stated that it was, and that it would also be an alias that would get attention in small circles of old-timers who were former high-level insiders. He told me that he had worked for a Pacific branch of the U.S. military for well over 30 years. He was a surgeon who had worked in various programs that were very similar to the MyLab programs from my youth. He stated that he was also involved in several 20 embats over a 20-year period out of his military service. When I asked him which program he was involved in, he looked me straight in the eyes and told me the actual classified program name. He then said, "I think you have been referring to this program as Dark Fleet." And the Dark Fleet is this Nazi Draco Starfleet that the Draco formed a treaty with the Nazis during the 1930s. The Nazis got and this goes back to the people who was investigating Nazi UFOs. Like when World War II pilots was flying over doing bombing runs in Europe, they encountered these, they call Foo Fighters. And these experimental craft of the Nazis who was getting this technology from the Dracos, that eventually they built this Starfleet called, that Solo Wharton referred to as the Dark Fleet. And it's a joint Nazi Draco Starfleet, offensive Starfleet, where they go out there and attack worlds like Palladian worlds, Andromedan worlds, the positive ET world, who are also enemies of the Draco in the galaxy, in the Milky Way galaxy. So they're basically going out there to attack those worlds and also protect the Orion territory, Draco territory. So basically offensive Starfleet for conquest. I was shocked to hear that the actual name of this program dropped so freely. So this insider was saying that because he said, "I think you have been referring to this program as the Dark Fleet," because he quoting this insider who called himself Bones as an alias. He said, "I was shocked to hear the actual name of this program dropped so freely. I had been told to keep a few of these program names confidential for a couple of reasons. I was told it was for operational security, sources, and methods, and would cause problems for operatives in the field. The actual name coming out would give programs immediate info to focus on." So this Corey Goode talking. The focus on a small group for questioning about the security breach. The second reason was to be able to use it as a few descriptive terms that I was told to create as a way to sniff out counterintelligence and personality types seeking attention through mimicking the information. Some of the people coming forward with imaginary imaginative stories based on my testimony can be quite convincing, and more than one respected researcher has fallen victim to these fan fiction stories. A few of my trusted colleagues and I were clued in on this counterintelligence method of protecting assets and stripping out LARPers. It made it infinitely easier to weed them out when they approached us and stated they were in the ICC, Dart Fleet, or Intergalactic League of Nations. I nurtured a friendship with Bones and eventually earned his trust. It was difficult not talking publicly about all of the new info he was sharing with me about the Dart Fleet. I was eventually able to talk to him in the meeting with the SSP Alliance to pass on a bunch of digitized files that he and others had been able to steal from this program. They had very carefully collected this information for decades. I arranged a meeting between Bones and Sitman. Now, Sitman is this guy that, and you got to know about you've been watching all the episodes at this point of Cause and Disclosure, know what I'm talking about when I talk about Sitman. So he supposed to be this guy in the Air Force Secret Space Program, and he was high up in the Air Force Secret Space Program. But recently, as a couple of months ago, he joined the SSP Alliance because he found out that Corey Goode testimony was real, and especially the part about there's a Navy Secret Space Program, because the Air Force Secret Space Program didn't know about the Navy Secret Space Program. So let me, because I actually had a talk with Corey Goode at Disclosure Fest. So let me see, can I find that? And I was with my friend Scott, who was out there, and we was out there. We caught Corey at one of his tents at Disclosure Fest. He was talking to some fans of his, and my friend was talking about he had a breakthrough with Richard Dolan at this Alien Con in Baltimore, and so that's what we're talking about.
Go back and I'll take another look at the Secret Space Program vet's testimony. I was like, because he admitted he doesn't really listen to it. He doesn't even count it as evidence or anything like that. And he's like, I'll listen to some. And he mentioned
he got broke through, because I remember that MUFON thing when you was up there, William Thompson, and then I saw Richard Dolan with his kid. Like, why you not taking this? This is evidence of the breakaway civilization you always talk about. And you just don't want to believe because Corey Goode, everybody talking Corey Goode because they want to
they don't like
discredit the Navy.
You become a very polarizing figure.
They don't like the spiritual. And also, they want to discredit the Navy Secret Space Program because that's the partial disclosure. The fight with the partial disclosure with that, the Air Force Secret Space Program, the DIA, and all.
That's me talking to Corey Goode about the fact that all these attacks that Corey Goode getting is because they trying to discredit. These are probably people in the stubborn parts of the Air Force Secret Space Program or the cabal, sending these agents out, these operatives out to attack Corey Goode, try to discredit him. They also been attacking Jake Jordan Sato, anybody associated with Corey Goode, to try to discredit him, so they can discredit the Navy Secret Space Program, for the partial disclosure agenda can come out. So that's why I was talking to Corey Goode, telling him about it. What I understand was going on. Why is he getting attacked? See, I understand why he getting attacked, So I was just sitting there. My friend was talking about the thing he was talking about, Richard Dolan, who don't want to take Corey Goode testimony serious, or William Thompson testimony. So he said he had a breakthrough with Richard Dolan at Alien Con. So I was sitting there talking about the reason they attacking you because they trying to discredit the Navy Secret Space Program. It's not you ain't the target. Jordan Sato ain't the target. Is they trying to discredit the Navy Secret Space Program for they can have their partial disclosure. So that's what you got to understand. Hey, Susan. But that's what you got to understand about that. I was sitting there telling Corey Goode that specifically, that I know why they're attacking you. It's not you are not the target. They trying to discredit the Navy Secret Space Program. So I'm looking at this more strategically, more with a military mindset, because I know this is a war going on. But let me get back to that article with the New Insider. So let me see where I'm at. Okay, I was required at the I was required to be at that meeting to make the introduction when Sipman arrived at that location. And like I told you, Sipman was in the Air Force Secret Space Program, the top one. He was also going to be a part of the posture disclosure agenda before he met Corey Goode, and then he interrogated Corey Goode. Then he found out Corey Goode testimony was real. Then he basically joined the SSP Alliance, but he had to leave everybody, his family behind to go join SSP. So when Sipman arrived at the location with a small team, I was a bit surprised to see them arrive in pickups and SUVs. I made the introductions, and then we quickly got into the back of an SUV that had been lightly armored. Sipman wasted no time laying into Bones and asking him about his background. Sipman was not disappointed by the responses. Bones then reached into his coat and pulled out 2 hard drives. Bones handed them directly to Sipman and told him that everything the SSP Alliance ever wanted to know about the Dark Fleet could be found on these drives. He also stated that there are multiple video files of him and others from this program giving their testimony and deathbed confessions. Bones reminded Sipman of the danger his small group was putting itself in. Sipman thanked him and provided him with a way to contact the SSP Alliance directly. I sensed that after being in a similar Scott Saber, do you think he could be trying to release information about the Dark Fleet to counter the testimony of Jason Rice? Well, I don't know yet. This is totally new, so I'm going to wait to see how this evolves. Because if this right here is, you know, well, let's wait till I finish reading, Scott. So I sense after being similar to the situation of being rescued by the SSP Alliance when he was in a similar peril, and he talking about Sipman, he seemed to be genuinely identified with Bones. The meeting ended as quickly as it began, and we all headed in our separate directions. Over the following weeks and months, many other unrelated incidents occurred, and I was not in as close communication with Bones as I had been. I had put the situation with Bones in the back of my head and was focused on other things when Sipman contacted me. Sipman wanted to meet Gonzalez and me for an important briefing in the early morning hours of November the 17th. So this happened today. This is a briefing he just had today, apparently. That's what he's saying. Make a long story shorter, Gonzalez and I ended up meeting Sipman and many other SSP Alliance personnel at LOC Alpha Base in a conference room that was set up for a video presentation on one of the large panel smart glass pads that lowered from the ceiling. We sat there as Sipman talked about the new intelligence they had received about the Dark Fleet. He went on to give a nearly 3-hour summary on what was found on 2 hard drives that Bones had given them. Sipman was visibly excited and stated, "We have everything. Their infrastructure, their list of assets going back 80 years, and where they are located. We now know of Dark Fleet bases in over a dozen different star systems, as well as on Earth, and have joint agreements and battle plans that the Dark Fleet had signed with the Dracos and an insectoid race, as well as non-aggression pacts with other ET groups." Sipman stated that they now this right here, now I'm thinking about this, like in the military terms. They say they got locations of the Dark Fleet bases in dozens of star systems. So when I first read this today, I was thinking, okay, is the Dark Fleet the one that's stopping disclosure? Because they working with the Dracos. The Dracos would not want disclosure since they are working for the Archons. And the Archons don't want disclosure. So that's all, linked up. That's all connected. So that's when I read this today when I was still at the plantation. So this is interesting because that means that they know where they shit at. They probably already launched attacks to take those bases out or to launch battles to whatever. That's what I'm thinking. They're already doing that. Now this he been knowing this insider for a long time, but he talked about this briefing November 17th. That means this briefing happened today, this morning, and he just released it. Now they got scolded before, him and Dave Wilcock, when the Alliance gave them some information and they took a long time to release it. So he released this immediately as soon as he got it, which is interesting. So this was time sensitive. But like Scott, like I said, when I get reading this, I'll tell you what I think. But making a long story shorter, guys, I end up meeting Stitman now. Okay, the receipt about Darfleet. And then he talked about, Stitman stated that now we have everything we needed to intercept Darfleet assets on every continent on Earth. They have now identified every Darfleet agent and double agent on the planet, and how they have infiltrated the ICC and the MIC SSP programs. He was confident that they now have enough information passed to the Earth Alliance for future indictments. Now, when I think what, because what I guess what Corey Good been told is the Q group is a part of the Earth Alliance, which might make sense since they took so goddamn long to talk about ETs being real in the secret space program, but they don't go into no details of the secret space program or the ET presence. Because I know I've been looking at, you know, people. I've been looking at some of those posts on 8chan, and they do ask a lot of ET questions that the Q group ignores. It's only that out of the blue question they just picked those questions and responded to them, which means that was strategic. They don't just answer any questions. It'd be many questions they don't answer. This Q group don't answer on 8chan from the Anons. So the questions about the moon landings and all that and the Space Force, that was strategic. They wanted to ask those questions because that was part of a plan. And also the Roswell, that was another question that, because they always avoid. They have flat Earth questions they ignore. There's so many questions they don't pay attention to. So we on it. What makes the news basically is the ones that they respond to. So that was strategic. So like I say, Corey Good was told that the Q group is related to the Earth Alliance. That's why we talk about the future indictments. The SSP Alliance also confident that they now have actionable intelligence on every ICC, Darfleet, Solar Warden, and Intergalactic League of Nation base and asset in the galaxy, and are ready once the action begins. Now, I don't know why he's saying Solar Warden. There must be some dark elements of Solar Warden. So I don't know what we're talking about there. I'm told this will assure that the entire exoplanetary infrastructure that has been built in secret will be available for use by the new system that has been outlined. This is a post-disclosure plan that a minority in the Earth Alliance has put a lot of planning into. So he's saying that a lot of the Earth Alliance is wanting this partial disclosure, but there's a minority in Earth Alliance that want full disclosure. He went on to say that they are gathering information to release to me at a future date. I was told that after this information was compiled, it would then be given to me to disclose in a way that this is beneficial to the SSP Alliance. I was also informed that at about the same time that I am cleared to drop the Darfleet information, that I should also be cleared to release the information from my meeting at the LOC Alpha Bravo Charlie and the tour of the ancient alien ruins within the moon itself. Now this part right here is interesting because I was watching the old episodes of Cosmic Disclosure when he was talking about this LOC Alpha Bravo Charlie, and it was an episode he was talking about this tour of the moon that he couldn't release at that point in that episode. So now he brought this back up today. That's synchronistic for me because I was watching that episode the day because I'm just looking back for answers. Like after Disclosure Fest, I've been sitting there a little frustrated, like, okay, we got all these people up here excited, optimistic. When the fuck are we gonna get disclosure? We still waiting on this fucking alliance. We're waiting on the Earth Alliance with this Q group. When the fuck are they gonna do something to get this done? They take it too fucking long, and then they living in fear and stuff because they don't want the secret to get out. So they constantly in fear, trying to make sure the secret stay hidden. And so I was thinking about, like Corey Goodall talking about, the mass conscious is going to determine if we're gonna get disclosure or not. Well, how the fuck does that work? Because we got weak-willed motherfuckers, because that's what it is. If they living in fear of the secret getting out, then they're a little weak-willed than the rest of us who want this out, who ready for disclosure, who ready to go on the adventure, who ready for the brave new world. So when I was feeling that way today, I just started looking at some old episodes of Cardinal Disclosure, and I came across where he was talking about this tour of this moon base and these other LOC sites, and he was talking about at a later date he can release what he saw. And so he in this update that I didn't know he was gonna drop tonight, he was talking about it again. So that was synchronistic for me. I'm just saying that was synchronistic for me. Very interesting. So I was told that the SSP Alliance is extremely happy with the success of Above Majestic, the implication of the secret space program, and that they hope future movies could be used as a vehicle of disclosure. The SSP Alliance plan is unchanged. They plan to make a partial disclosure impossible and find a way to full disclosure, thus delivering the entire SSP infrastructure to all humanity on equal terms. So that was, when I read that, that was some optimistic thing right there. So that was a motivational thing, because like when I saw Jordan Sather, one of his lives, he looked like he was down. I remember how optimistic he was at Disclosure Fest panel, and he was talking about next week, because somebody asked a question about who gonna play, because Corey talked about they gonna work on some movies or something about his experiences, and somebody said, well, who gonna play Corey Goode in the movie? And then Jordan Sather said, well, probably the people who are left after they get arrested next week. So he was optimistic about that, Jordan Sather. But on his live he wasn't optimistic. Now I've been saying Jordan Sather a lot, being optimistic about what's about to finally happen, But we all be optimistic because we tired of this bullshit. We want it to happen. We all get excited and then get disappointed again because we want this shit to happen. Like all these people at Disclosure Fest wanted to happen. So that's what, since Disclosure Fest, I've been like, well, how the fuck we make this happen? How do we use our creative mass conscience to get this shit done? So, Susan said, I've been following Penny Bradley and Tony Rodriguez testimony. Oh man, the Dark Fleet is a freaking nightmare. They take them whatever they want. Yeah. They're working with Dracos and they're Nazis. Let me finish reading this article. As I look forward to bringing that new insight information to you as soon as it is cleared. I am told that the new info on the Dark Fleet is so extensive that it will require a series of reports to disseminate it properly. I've also had a number of Anshaw and Gonzalez experiences that were noteworthy and had significant impact on my journey that I hope to share soon. So he released this 3 hours ago. I mean, I went on a bathroom break and looked at my phone and saw this article, and then I was like, what the hell? So I don't know what's going on. I don't know, because like I said, this is synchronistic for me, because I was watching the episode with something related in here. So like Scott, what I'm thinking is, it doesn't seem, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this just came out. But if this is like this inside really gave them some real information, it got me the suspicion to think that Dark Fleet might be interfering in disclosure efforts. But it doesn't seem like he's trying to discredit Jason Rice directly, probably indirectly, but not directly. I don't think he did as a panic. I mean, Jason Rice is not as popular as Corey Goode. He really ain't having that much influence as, that he can be a threat, that he got to make something up or whatever. But like I say, this just happened. Whoever this new insider is, I gotta hear some more of this. The information they gave him to see, determine where it is going at. Can't sit here and think about, this the first drop of this. But what it's saying is they know what all the Dark Fleet shit at, because these people got a lot of information on the inside workings of the Dark Fleet, and they can take them out and arrest them. And what I'm thinking is the reason he dropped this is they must be interfering with disclosure. So that's what I'm thinking. Well, not all the Dark Fleet is bad. Some of them broke away and became part of the SSP Alliance. So they already there. But they still got some bad elements, in the Dark Fleet. But the fact that there's other Dark Fleet bases that have not been touched or harassed in the galaxy, now that's significant. And they work with the Dracos, that's backup for the Dracos. They've been locked out the solar system because of the barrier. But the barrier is down now, but it's being guarded by the Galactic Federation. So that's what the episode I was watching today, relates to all this. They'll say this is so synchronistic. And so I was just, being funny about it, thinking, did I have something to do with it? Because what I'm talking about when like the title in this live I'm doing, the co-creative mass conscious, how the fuck does that work? How do we use our intent to focus on, and our will to focus on a desired experience or a timeline? Well, like, we'll get disclosure, full disclosure. Like, what the fuck can I do when I wake up tomorrow? What the fuck I can do tomorrow, or any of us can do, that can make disclosure happen probably by the end of this month or by the end of the year? Or are we, it doesn't matter what we do, and we gotta wait on this fucking alliance that's living in fear because they trying to keep shit secret, so their will is weakened. So we got this weak will motherfucker sitting here determining when the fuck we gonna have disclosure. That's what I was, thinking about today. And so I was like thinking, well, how the fuck do we use our mass conscious do that? How the fuck does that work? That sounds like some, just sound like some fuzzy math or something. Or what they call it. There's some fuzzy logic or whatever. Like, what the fuck does that mean? How you practically apply that? And so that's what I've been thinking about all day. Like, how the fuck did that work? Because if you think about the wheel with the co-creative reality or co-creative mass conscious, whatever the fuck it's called. And I should be asking Lauren Eisenhower. She on my friend list, so I should be asking her. She probably understand a lot more about this. But she don't look at her messages like that. I had to ask her something on one of her posts to get her attention. But she probably know a hell of a lot more about this. I heard some of her talks when I was at Scotia Fest. She did some deep information. But like I said, how the fuck does this work? What the fuck can I do tomorrow differently that can make disclosure happen by the end of this month? But then another thing I've been thinking about as I've been over a couple of months or a couple of years, I've been thinking about like when we evolve in our conscious and we spiritually evolve and gain spiritual wisdom, is this based off of conquering our fears? And like when you learn a lesson, like they talk about spiritual lesson, or when you conquer a fear, do some kind of door open up and other things become available to you, like you playing a video game and the next level or hidden secrets are available to you because you beat this boss character or something. So I guess I'm relating that to this, like Dave Wilcock call it the hero's journey we all supposed to be on, that he talk about. So I was thinking, like, that's what I think, what the fuck can we, and like today I was thinking, what the fuck can I, but what the fuck can we do differently tomorrow to make sure disclosure happens by the end of this month or by the end of the year? And that's the mystery. As I said, I probably asked Laura Eisenhower this, because she probably know a hell of a lot more about this. And I know she probably understands a lot more. So I was thinking about how the fuck we do this? What the hell can we do different? Do we got to conquer our fears? Do we got to do something that's brave? Because Q talk about the Brave New World, and it looks like Q is part of this Earth Alliance group. So Q talks about the brave new world. So what that means, being brave, that opens up doors to like we make the probability of getting disclosure either by the end of this month or by the end of the year, by doing brave things, conquering some fear, doing something we didn't think about doing because we've been afraid to do it. And this is just a theory because I don't know. It's just a mystery to me because I'm like, how the fuck you do this shit? How the fuck we apply our mass consciousness to make sure this happens? Because it can't be no simple tasks. Because we already have disclosure. There's so many people out there that do the meditation and all the manifestation stuff, and the shit ain't working by itself. Oh, we going at a snail pace. We still slowly waiting on the Earth Alliance. You know, now they got Comey going to testify on November 29th, and Loretta Lynch going to testify on December 5th. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about Pfizer. I don't care about that. I care about what the fuck we gonna get disclosure. I don't give a fuck about looking at no fucking testimony of James Comey on TV and Loretta Lynch. Who cares about that? Is that gonna, you know, release the Pfizer and do the mass arrest to get quickly to disclosure? Because this is what this is all about. It's about disclosure. I don't give a fuck about the rest of that shit. That's what's frustrating me. I think this was frustrating Jordan Sather too. You know, he's optimistic about, you know, almost the time he do a live video, he think of what, or something, you know, drop with Q, oh, we got to get disclosure. Then, of course, disappointment don't happen. Now, why the hell did you keep doing that? If this alliance is living in fear because they trying to keep it secret and not or get all the secrets out, if, like when Simon Potts was given that, said somebody in the Trump administration or this alliance, that's, you know, this Earth Alliance, I'm thinking, they sit there and, you know, to shut the observatories down. Now, it has to be the Earth Alliance because how the rest of the other observatories around the world shut down? You can't just shut one observatory down and stop them from looking at the sun just to shutting up an observatory. Now, there was some observatories in Colorado that were shut down because I got that from looking at one of Alex Collier webinars. So how the fuck you shut those down? There had to be other, that had to be part of this Earth Alliance that shut those down. Now, the Earth Alliance is one that's part of this partial disclosure thing. They want to slow it down. They want to, you know, over a long time. The SSP Alliance want full disclosure. So it makes more sense that it was the Earth Alliance that was doing that. So if you got that going on, they're trying to control disclosure. They living in fear of this secret getting out. So they weak-willed. We got stronger will. And will is related, I mean, to is directing, you know, your intent to the desired experience, which is the timeline, the desired timeline. Then we got weak-willed motherfuckers determining what timeline we're going to experience. And how the fuck we take control from them. And we sit there, like we was at Disclosure Fest, it said it's up to us. Well, that, yeah, because our mass conscience is going to determine it. And also you got the Batal Soul Group here. You get enough the Batal doing that, they will, of course, going to, you know, going to usurp others because they the most powerful soul group in the universe and on the planet. So that's what I'm saying. We got weak-willed motherfuckers in this alliance because they live in constant fear of the secret getting out. So their will is weakened. And I already told y'all, you know, on my lives on Facebook, when I can still go live on Facebook, that if your will is weakened, that's when, I mean, if you're living in fear, your free will is weakened. And that's when these higher dimensional negative forces like the Archons can manipulate your timeline and do attacks, you know, launch attacks at you. You know, and put problems in your life and bad luck and all that stuff. So they are getting bad luck because the AI threat, which is these archons that the Draco serve, they attacking them, and so they probably explain why the fact we still ain't got fucking disclosure because they encountering problems because they live in constant fear. You know, because they don't want the secret to get out because they want to control disclosure. Because with the observatory, you had these fleets of ships that came out of the sun. You know. And what they appear to be doing with the sun, I think I heard this from Simon Parks, is they trying to force disclosure. Well, force the ascension, basically. They changing the sun out, energy output to affect our consciousness in a way to create the ascension. Now, I've been hearing about this from Alex Carrier webinars months ago, that the ETs are on some kind of time scale, or some alignment is coming up, some cycle is coming up, that they need to get this done. They need to get disclosure quickly on Earth. So they on some kind of clock that we don't know or understand, some kind of galactic alignment coming up that they need to get disclosure here, or I guess it's going to be a bit reset. They're going to lose their chance to get disclosure. And of course, the Blue Avians or the Spirit Being Alliance have warned Corey Good about that they got a critical window of, I think it was 3 years or something, to get disclosure. So we all are running out of fucking time. So that's the shit about thinking today. Like, why the fuck we still waiting on this? How the fuck can we take this out of this alliance hand? Let's keep trying to live constantly in fear to stop us from getting disclosure, because they don't want to come out, because they want to control when it come out. And then you got Corey Good telling us about that power of our mass consciousness. Well, how the fuck we get that power? And like I said, it can't be no simple shit, because it's massive resistance against this, because it's already people out there been optimistic, doing all the little manifestation rituals and all that shit. It ain't done a damn thing. So that I'm being real and practical about it. It ain't done a damn thing. We still ain't got disclosure. We still waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. So that's why I say, what is the secret here? Is it about conquering your fears? Is it about doing something, different? Like change the energy. Like you're doing the same routine all the time, you do something different with that change the energy. Like I went to the Disclosure Fest. I ain't never been to one of those conferences before. Maybe I changed the energy or something. I might have contributed something. I don't know. But I'm just trying to think outside of the box here. How the fuck we get use our mass consciousness to influence this to get us disclosure faster? Because we got some weak-willed, cowardly motherfuckers sitting here determining humanity's future. Because that's basically what they're doing. Since they constantly living in fear, they weak-willed. And our will is strong. We not living in fear. We want disclosure. People at Disclosure Fest wasn't weak-willed, or they was optimistic. They were strong-willed, and they ready to get this done. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how the fuck can we get this done? And that has not been explained to me. Because I remember watching the episode, like that episode I was watching, that relates to this, with this update Corey Good talking about today, which I say was synchronistic. We asked them, so what do you mean? How do we do that? What do you mean? How do we use our mass consciousness and stuff? And Corey Good did not explain it well. And ain't nobody having explained it well to me. How the fuck we go about doing this? That works. Not that we do some manifestation ritual and like they talk about, write the shit down and hold an intent and be having feeling and all that stuff I hear about what the light workers talk about. That shit ain't working. We still ain't got disclosure. Shit ain't still changed. We had this slow walk, snail pace shit. Like, what's the latest thing that got people excited? Where Trump tweeted the fucking 5347 something, or 5140, what the fuck it was. Tweeted that thing that was a Q proof. Yeah, so what? When the fuck, where's the mass arrest? Why Pfizer ain't dropped yet? What the fuck is disclosure? So, it's like, come on. This is not working. It's not working fast enough. It's taking too damn long. And a lot of people are getting disillusioned with this. Like I said in Jordan Safe, the last live I saw, he was disillusioned. He doesn't seem like he was in a good mood. A lot of people ain't tell that, but I could tell. I'm really good at reading people. So, looking at, I can't read people's energy. I don't got that ability, but I can look at people and know that, what their emotional states can be. So he probably disillusioned because we ain't got it yet. He been optimistic, and then every week passes or every 2 weeks passes and we still ain't got disclosure yet. So Jordan Safe is getting disillusioned with this too. I can tell. We all are getting disillusioned. And just, well, you got to be more patient or be stronger and have more endurance. We all are getting this. Everybody at Disclosure Fest, when we was at Disclosure, people was hoping that Disclosure would drop that day on the 11th, because that's what supposed to have been the parade, the military parade that was canceled. That was supposed to have been. Well, there supposed to been a victory parade when they after they did the mass arrest and took out the cabal. Well, that ain't happened yet. Because what keep happening? The cabal keep finding some advantage, keep this dragging this along. If they drag it along too long, we ain't gonna get disclosure. So that's why we got to change our strategy, change our tactics. And that's what I say. One of the things I did, I went to Disclosure Fest. I ain't never been to one of those UFO conferences ever in my life. So I did something different that changed the energy, you know. So that's what I'm saying. We got to do something different. You know, the people got to travel somewhere or do something different. Because we talking about what Q talked about, the brave new world. Basically talking about disclosure when Q say the brave new world. So we got to be more brave. Because the people who are, you know, this alliance that's defeating the cabal, they living in fear. Because the main fear they always afraid of is disclosure dropping before they ready to get it. So they trying to control, you know, the destiny of humanity to when the hell they can get disclosure because they can stay in control. We got to get them out of that control and take that control for us. And stop waiting on these motherfuckers. Because we keep seeing this bullshit with Q dropping some shit and we thinking something gonna happen. Then nothing fucking happened. Like Q posted next week. What next week happened? Okay, this is the weekend. We about to move into another next week. So when the fuck was the next week? So was that another damn disinformation drop to throw the cabal off? And then what, this week coming up going to be something? You know? But this, like I said, this is disillusion people because it ain't happening. People want this shit to happen yesterday, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago. I remember in 2009 I wanted it to happen when we thought it was going to happen. That scourge was going to happen because there was a lot of evidence going around that was going to be the case. So, and that disillusion ain't good for the mass conscious, you know, picking the desired timeline or whatever, because people are, they become hopeless if they get too disillusioned. They become depressed, hopeless, and apathetic. Then they don't contribute to the building a positive timeline. They contribute to building a negative timeline. You can't keep disappointing people. You know, people can't keep being disappointed. That's not good for us getting on the positive timeline, or if we on the positive timeline, staying on the positive timeline. If people become hopeless and become apathetic, because that energy or the intent that goes to driving, I mean, to picking that, to desiring that timeline, that gets diminished. So, can't keep having this. Like when I was at the Disclosure Fest, let me put this, because I don't want this to go out. When I was at Disclosure Fest, like I said, I wish I had more time to talk to, you know, Corey Good in private about all this and letting her just lay this all out. But that's what I'm saying. I understand a lot about what the fuck is going on with this enemy we're fighting, and you know, like what's going on, like what's about to happen. Like when people start looking at the Q trip codes and the book starts showing up, I already recognized that they were trying to get people prepared for disclosure. Well, a lot of people were scared. See, they go that fear again. They were scared to believe this was the case when it was so obvious. And then Q kept saying, you have more than you know. Well, that was a case of we had more than we know, because we didn't know we had that. That this alliance, Earth Alliance, wanted us to read all these damn books to prep us for disclosure. So that was one of the things that, you know, I immediately jumped on and say, okay, this is real. They want us to get prepared for disclosure. It was so obvious. Now, a lot of people, when they see obvious things like that, because they got belief system, they didn't want to believe it. Because a lot of people in the Q movement was Christian conservatives, and if they believe in ETs, they got to throw away their religion. So, blah, duh, they didn't want to believe it. When the trip codes was finding these books, you know, books like this that came up in the trip code, most of Michael Salla books, Dave Wilcock books, Richard Hoagland book about the monuments on Mars, people didn't want to believe it because the implications were scary, because they said, wait a minute, ETs are real? Military intelligence, Trump is saying ETs are real? What What about Jesus Christ? You know, Jesus Christ. What about God and all this stuff and Christianity? What about Muhammad and, you know, Islam and all this? No, it's all bullshit. All that religion is bullshit. They're put here by the negative ET groups that have been controlling us and causing humanity misery. And you need to abandon this shit and grow the fuck up spiritually. Santa Claus ain't fucking real. You need to go cry in the fucking corner. You know, when you're done crying, grow up and be a fucking adult. Put your big boy pants on, like, you know, like you're talking to your child. Because a lot of motherfuckers are spiritual children. Shit. A lot of people out there are spiritual children. Being a bit babies and whining and shit. You know, bitching and complaining and shit. Well, you need to grow the fuck up. You know, Santa Claus ain't fucking real. All your religion's a bunch of lies and deception, deliberately deceiving you, putting you in a conscious trap, keeping you in the fear, keeping you in a slave mentality, keeping you being obedient to authority. It's all a fucking trap. I don't give a fuck if it's Islam. I don't give a fuck if it's Christianity. I don't give a fuck if it's any of these fucking religions. They all are fucking traps. So you got to understand that. See, that's why the fucking archives on Facebook had to shut me down and try to silence me. Because I'm not playing with people. I'm frustrated with people. You know, I was on the bus today going to the plantation. I was frustrated with these people. I don't even talk to those people on the bus. Because a lot of them are Christians. A lot of them be talking about stupid shit. They talk about the propaganda of the cabal. They hating Trump for no fucking reason. They don't know why they hate them. So they're just illogical. I ain't got time for that. There's serious shit going on the planet. And I ain't got time for that. So I don't give a fuck about your fucking religion. I don't care about hurting your feelings. Your shit is bullshit. Santa Claus ain't fucking real. You can go cry in the fucking corner. And then when you done crying, wipe the fucking tears from your eyes and put your big boy pants on, your big girl pants on, and grow the fuck up. Because we got a lot of spiritual children out here ain't understanding this shit is bullshit. You know, even logic put to these fucking religions show is a bunch of bullshit. I mean, like I say, it's so frustrating. Yes, I'm frustrated too, Susan, as you can see. I was optimistic at the Disclosure Fest because the same as everybody else there, I was thinking, well, shit, Disclosure might drop the date. We was told about this day by Q, you know, but nothing fucking happened. Here we go. What's the date? It's about to be the 18th. Where the fuck is Disclosure at? The Q clock ends on the 22nd. Where the fuck is Disclosure at? The Q clock ain't gonna matter no more after the 22nd of November. It doesn't matter anymore. It's been accurate as hell. Every fucking time some major thing happened with a Q drop or some major news event, and then showed up on that Q clock. So whoever the fuck came up with the Q clock was the genius that came up with that. It's been accurate as hell. But it ends its usefulness on November the 22nd. So that's why I say, what the fuck is going to happen between today and the 22nd? It's just a couple of days away. So that's why I say, what the fuck is going on? This is taking too fucking long. You know, the people in Earth Alliance, which is the majority of Earth Alliance, is pushing this partial disclosure. And then, like I just told you in this update with Corey Good, talking about the minority is for full disclosure. They some weak-willed, cowardly motherfuckers. Because the main thing they so terrified of that makes them cowards is the fact they don't want the secret to get out. And they can't control disclosure no more. And they worried about the humanity ain't gonna be able to take it well. We gotta stop letting these motherfuckers determine our future. So how the fuck we take that power of getting disclosure from them and put it in our hands? So that's, you know, what we gotta try to figure out. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I've been trying to figure out all day. You know, so how the fuck we do that? We gotta conquer a fear, and some doors gonna open up. They're gonna lead to other doors opening up. They're gonna speed this process up. Because if fear weakens your free will, then I guess that makes a little bit of sense. So we got a partial answer to what the fuck we do. Chandal Chamberlain, they claim that JFK Jr. will reveal himself on November 22nd. Yeah, we'll see. You know, a lot of people have been deciphering the Q posts, and that's one thing. A lot of people have been accurate. They've been using the right logic. They've been doing the right research, investigation. They've been accurate, but this alliance is not doing what we expect it to do. They keep, you know, being skittish, being afraid, and not taking the big steps that we expect them to do. A lot of humanity is more braver and, you know, got more will than this alliance that's defeating the cabal now. And that's what I'm noticing, because they're not doing the big things. Like doing the North Korea thing, people thought they're going to do 9/11 truth. Didn't happen. People, but the Anons, they deciphered it, and they got convincing arguments, convincing evidence, and convincing clues. They broke all this stuff down, but it didn't lead to nothing. There was no 9/11 truth on the North Korea summit. It was about some damn agreements with North Korea about, you know, denuclearization. But it wasn't what people was expecting. So here we go again. People expecting something, like you saying on 22nd, he gonna reveal himself. We don't know that. You know, don't get your hopes up about it, because this alliance is living in a lot of fear, and they weak-willed, and they fucking timelines being messed with by the Archons, where we countering these fucking obstacles or bad luck, which mean we keep dragging this along, and we ain't got the Scourge yet, like we expecting. The people, the Anons, all this got high expectations, and also those of us who fight for the Scourge got high expectations, but the alliance is not delivering on these expectations. They keep disappointing us, and it look like they keep disappointing us because they living in fear. They major terror. The thing that makes them, you know, can't sleep at night is the fact that the Scourge can happen and they can't control it. And that's what I'm talking about. And I say with this Corey Good update is the SSP Alliance saying we want to make it impossible for partial disclosure. That's what I like to hear. I want to hear more of that. Hell no to partial disclosure. We ain't accepting this. That's what I say. I wish I had more time to speak to Corey Good in private at that conference. You know, I wish I had an hour to speak with him or something. I could have laid this all out to him, because I get it. I get a lot of what's going on with this battle. Hey, Tina. But I get a lot what's going on with this battle. So if I had some time, private conversation with Corey Good, I would have laid all this out and say, look, you got to take this back to your people and whoever pushing this particle in the Earthlands, that we ain't tolerating this shit. You saying they been a bunch of fucking cowards, because a lot of people in the Scourge movement is braver than them, because we ready to take the risks, you know, and the consequences of getting this done. The people who was at Scourge Fest was ready for this to happen that day, ready. Chantal Chamberlain, there's so much going on, and it's so big, and it seems insurmountable, and I don't think any one group can handle the total Scourge on its own. Well, not any one group, but we got many groups. We ain't got to be alone in this. There ain't gonna be no lone group. But a lot of people on the planet, especially in other countries, are ready for the Scourge. May not be here in America, because people have not grown up spiritually, still thinking Santa Claus is real, still depending on Jesus, blah blah blah, or Muhammad, or whatever religious figure they depending on, still trapped in that consciousness trap. They ain't gonna be able to handle it, because they got abandoned their little safety net called religion. That's why those people, if they looked in the Q stuff and see it's being valid, then Q talking about, you know, ETs are real and all that, they couldn't handle it. They didn't want to look at it. But it doesn't matter what the fuck they want. It's happening. This is happening. You're going to have to eventually abandon your religion. You're going to eventually have to accept the fact and live with the fact that Santa Claus ain't fucking real. And you just can go cry your ass in the corner over there, cry all the fucking tears out, and then when you're done crying, you can come out the fucking corner and put your big boy pants on, your big girl pants on, whatever the fuck, or dress on, whatever the fuck you do, and grow the fuck up. Time to be adult. Stop sitting there going on fairy tales. Time to get serious. So this is what's frustrating me, is these people. When I was on that bus today, I was like, these motherfuckers are like dead weight up here talking about this stupid shit, depending on religion. Because if this co-creative mass consciousness is the most important thing at play here, well, they a bunch of dead weight motherfuckers that's sitting here slowing us down. So, you know, I was just visibly frustrated, as I always be when I be on that bus with them. So that's why I was thinking, how the fuck we stop this alliance and determine when the fuck we gonna get disclosure on that? Why the fuck we gotta keep waiting on them? I'm about sick of this. You know, I'm really frustrated. I know Jordan Sather is frustrated too, because I saw him in his last live. He didn't look like he was in a good mood. And I think I know why he ain't in no good mood, because we ain't got disclosure yet. Because almost every time he do a live or something, he always optimistic that it's about to happen, I've seen that several times with him. And like when I met him at Disclosure Conference, I told him I got his back. And remember, I did that video, you know. Let me see, can I find that video? I took that video of me and him showing everybody together, you know, with the, you know, like pretending like we, well, I ain't gonna say pretend, but if we become allied one day, we can go out to the cabal together. Let me see, can I find that? It's down here somewhere. And I post a lot of shit on my wall. The bear way down here. Just a few days ago, and it's buried way down here. Way down here. So yeah, this is the video right here. What I basically met. Well, I already met Jordan Sather around this time, but this is when I took a video with him.
Jordan Sather gonna be out lining up. We coming for y'all, cabal. Y'all ass ain't gone yet. Y'all cabal. Yeah, all you motherfuckers. Okay, I'm fast.
So I said that was saying that just to, you know, we had some fun. But of course they would be scared of that. And me and Jordan Sather after work together. We gonna be, if there's something with this fucking mass conscious they talk about, can you imagine? You know, come on. Especially how much I understand the enemy we fighting, these Archons, which is the main threat. But they would be terrified of that. And I sit there was saying that, I say, well, if this alliance, this Earth Alliance with the Q group ain't done, you know, take these motherfuckers out, we can do it. You know, with the, because what we do it is wake the people up. If it's something to do with the mass conscious, if it's about raising the awareness, you know, informing people, then of course we can do that easily. So I would say that's the mystery. What the fuck do we got to do to get this done? And that's what we're trying to figure out, or what I'm trying to figure out. Yup, they sure do need to speed this up, Tina. Chanda Chambliss, so how do we all coordinate it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. As I say, that's what I'm trying to figure out. How? Yeah. That's the $1 trillion question. So I'm trying to figure that out. Like, y'all don't understand. I be up here every fucking, I be going to sleep thinking about how the fuck we do a faster way to get disclosure. Sometimes I can't even sleep at night. I wake up early in the morning. Like today, I was up early in the morning. You know, seeing what the cabal is doing and countering it. I'm constantly fighting to get disclosure. You know, and the people don't like. I mean, what they was talking about the other day. They was talking about the fucking fires. The California fire was obviously they were using directed energy weapons. So I was fighting that. All that relates. That's how constantly involved I'm in this. I have stressful days. I have depressing days trying to get this done. I'm always focused on this. I think about this all the time. My nephews want me to play the video game with them. I don't even play the video game with them because I'm constantly making posts, you know, uploading videos or doing my lives to try to speed this process up. And if it relates to the mass conscious, then I should be making an effort. I mean, I should be making effects. Is it showing up? I don't know. ETs are Chambly. The ETs are here to help, but what will trigger their help? What do we have to do? How far do we have to go before they will make themselves known? I don't know. I think we all need to know that. Don't need to figure that one out. But I don't know. You know, they talk about what they don't want to violate free will. They're waiting for consent of humanity. Now they always talk about that 10% threshold. Well, in Alex Carrier's latest webinar, which about 2 weeks ago, says at 28%. That threshold is at 28%. It's been past the 10%. So, you know, they always talk about where they waiting for the consent of people to call for help. So they need, I guess, that 10% threshold was at 28% now. A lot of people are calling for help. So they should be intervening, but they've been intervening. Then that's not been intervening. We've been knowing about it. And according to Dallas Carter, what he's getting from his contact with Andromedans is the ETs, a lot of the ETs are attacking the underground bases and taking them out and cleaning them out. You know, going deep underground and having a war going on down there. And they working with, say, U.S. Special Forces, Russian Special Forces, Chinese Special Forces to clean out these underground bases and caverns of these negative ET groups, especially the Draco. So they intervene in that way, but we still ain't got disclosure yet. We don't know about this stuff going on. And that's what we're waiting out. And they always talk about where they don't want to violate free will because they're going to have karma entanglements or whatever. And I think a lot of that is bullshit. And I think the reason is until they win the planet, because if they try to come out like that, they get shot down. Because the weapons of the Dracos that have been controlling Earth will shoot them out the sky. I think that makes more sense than the fact they keep talking about, well, they don't want to violate free will and all that stuff. I think a lot of that is bullshit excuses. But, like I said, I don't know when the fuck they're going to really do something. So you got to understand that. That's what's the frustrating part about it is. It's frustrating to all of us. We all keep getting excited about things happening. Then, or they say, well, Q drops up next week. You know, what's going to happen next week or something. Then what happened is something that's really insignificant, really not that big of a deal. They would get disappointed. We all been through that. We all jump to the thing and get excited. So we all guilty of it. We all get excited about this because we are frustrated. We want this shit done. We want this over with. Let's get to the brave new world already. I'm tired of being in the coward world that we in now. The cowardly old world. Let's get to the brave new world. Shit. You know, especially with these crazy motherfucking people out there who doing all this crazy stuff. And they putting these videos on Facebook where they basically doing these death-defying activities. Like this one guy was riding on a dam. That motherfucker crazy. I don't know if he got a girlfriend or something, or some people that love him, but that's suicide if he ain't got no parachute on. If he fall off that goddamn thing, because you got to have some really good balance. He was riding a bike on some kind of thing on a dam somewhere. I don't know if it was a Hoover Dam or something, but when you look over the side, all it is a death-defying fall. I mean, that's a death fall. If he fell over, he died if he ain't got no parachute on. So I don't know what is he doing there. I know about conquering your fears, but that's crazy. And I know if he got a girlfriend, she'd be losing her damn mind. He doing some crazy shit like that, or anybody else that care about him. You know, he got me beat because I'm not doing no shit like that. I guess I value my life. So, like I said, those people like that, and they not just high on some speed or something, or whatever, some kind of drug. They just brave and, you know, ain't got no fear. They are ready for the brave new world. They ready for the adventure out there in the galaxy. Those type of people that's uploading those Facebook videos where they doing all this crazy shit, standing on tall buildings and stuff and all this, and walking on ledges, platforms high up in the sky. Those people are ready for the brave new world because they fearless. They starving for that kind of adventure. So a lot of people are ready for this. But this alliance that's defeating the Cabal, taking them out, they don't seem to be ready for it. They trying to determine what we ready for. That's what I'm saying. How the fuck we, you know, interfere with that and we take control of that? How the fuck do we get that done? Because they basically a bunch of cowards and weak-willed when they constantly living in fear of the big secret getting out that they trying to control and keep secret and under wraps. We not living in fear. We want this shit done. We ready to take risks to get this done. We ready for the brave new world. We want to rush to it. They want to slow walk it. Shanta Chamberlain, I think their appearance would kick things off for sure. They have to be seen. Their ships have to be, yes, they have to be seen, especially for the skeptics out there. They got to be seen. And what I be looking at, like this alliance don't know what the fuck to do sometimes. They look like they don't know what the fuck they doing sometimes. And then some of these ETs don't know what the fuck they doing. You know, because you look back in the 70s, the Pleiadians tried to come to the Carter administration and told Carter to tell America to give up its religion and focus on spirituality, give up Christianity, basically. That was naive back then. You know how strongly the strong attachment Christianity had back in the 70s in America, and the Pleiadians came to Carter and tried to tell people to give up their religion like that way back then. Come on, that was naive. Well, they from 4th, 5th densities, you know, they know what they doing. No, they didn't know what they doing there. They underestimate the power of religion, the pull of religion, the popularity, the attractiveness of it, and they underestimate the fear that people was in. Now, this before the 90s when they was building the FEMA death camps. When people was talking about that, religion was strong. It ain't strong as it is today. But they came to the Carter administration and said, would tell people to abandon their religion and basically go to be more spiritual. Like that was going to work back then. And that was, you know, being naive. That was a stupid ass move by that whoever the Pleiadian group was. And that was really naive. That was a foolish, you know, idea. So they ain't seem to learn their lesson since then. But like I say, it look like sometimes they don't know what the fuck they doing. Because it's like humanity is ready. A lot of humanity is ready for this. But you got this alliance, you got these ETs thinking, well, we're not ready. Well, we fucking ready. We got to make sure they understand we ready. But not just by understanding about, you know, what I'm doing lives and get the message out. How the fuck we actively use our mass consciousness to influence this to make this, happen quicker? And that's the mystery that I don't know. Shandor Chambly, exactly, not just these blurry. Yes, we need proof, especially for those people that they keep telling us we need to reach. But like I said, Alex Carey was recently told that we passed that threshold of 10%. We at 28% now. We almost at a quarter of the population of humanity, saying that, ready for this, ready for disclosure, awake. That's way past enough. So what the fuck is taking so long? That's the question. What the fuck is that? We passed the 10%. What the fuck is taking so long? Why we ain't got disclosure yet? Why the fuck I gotta wake up tomorrow at sunrise and we still don't got fucking disclosure? And what we gonna hear? What, Q come back, post some shit? I don't give a fuck about Loretta Lynch testifying. I don't give a fuck about James Comey. And let's go talk about the Pfizer being dropped, which supposed to be the start of the mass arrests that gonna quickly lead to disclosure. That's what I want to get to, the mass arrests. If you ain't talking about that, you don't interest me. Shit, that's not what I'm saying here. Focus on. I don't care about that. I don't give a fuck about, Comey coming to testify. I'm tired of this slow walking shit. Get this shit done faster. I wouldn't give a damn about it being done legally. I mean, a couple of years back, when this guy, Drake Kent, came forward, who was a Pentagon spokesman, he basically part of the Earth Alliance. He came back and said, yeah, they were just going to just kill him. They wasn't going to sit here. They gave him an ultimatum surrender, and then they said they're just going to kill him. Kill the cabal. They was worried about the legal process. I don't care about the fucking legal process. It's taking too fucking long. We got all these sealed indictments. They haven't been used yet. They just keep racking up because this whole fucking legal process is taking too fucking long. I really do not care personally about these fucking mass arrests. Let's kill them. Whatever the fuck you got to do to get disclosure. Really don't care. Let's get this shit done. We are all running out of time. And we got a critical 3-year window. We cannot keep delaying this and slow walking this. So it's time to get impatient. Like when they was doing of course, I don't know who was doing this though. I don't know if it was the cabal and they being desperate, or it was the alliance doing it to intimidate the cabal. But with the mailing thing, people were celebrating the guys sending shit to those people because they want those people to be blown up or killed. Because they are frustrated. They want this done. They wasn't caring about this happening to those people. Like the media was trying to make us feel sorry for them. We give a fuck about those people. If they was real bombs and they blew their ass up, people would have been celebrating in the streets. You would see a counter protest to Antifa if somebody was going to blow up George Soros. Come on, you know how many people hate him? So nobody cared about that. Just like when Rockefeller died, or died, we don't know if he really is dead. People were celebrating, was happy. So like I say, people do not give a fuck about this legal process. Really. The Alliance cared about this because they working with these positive ETs that want this, because I guess it's a way to do it that affect our conscience in a positive way. I don't know. But I guess that's the way. They're trying to do it in a legal way. But this legal way is taking too fucking long. For me. And for a lot of people, we tired of this. People have been willing to sit there and accept the Alliance doing this, but you taking too fucking long. With this. Get this shit done. Why the fuck I gotta wait till November 29th to, to get Loretta Lynch in there? Why the fuck you just don't drop Pfizer? Unless there's some disinformation they putting out to throw the cabal off. I don't know. But I'm really getting tired of this whole waiting process. Waiting and waiting and waiting. Getting disappointed. Getting excited. Getting disappointed more up here, down here. This shit is getting old. This is a broken record. This is getting, annoying. I mean, look at what they're doing in California. They're trying to They're using whatever energy weapon they're using to burn most of California, you know, a big portion of California to the fucking ground. And then you got people out here thinking that these are normal fires when you got you know, steel cars or iron or whatever and aluminum melting before the trees even scorch or burn. How the hell is that possible? How the fuck can you have a forest fire but the trees don't fucking burn? That makes no fucking sense. That supposed to be the fuel of the fire to sustain the fire is the fucking trees, the leaves, and the wood. Why the fuck you think you put wood over a goddamn over the chimney? What the fuck? You put wood there. That's the fuel for the fire. It gets hotter. It gets you know, it gets bigger. How the fuck is the fire being sustained to burn fucking? It's melting these steel cars or whatever, or iron, whatever, or aluminum. It's melting them. Like I saw a semi truck being melted, and you saw the trees not even scorched. How the fucking how is this possible? That makes no fucking sense. And you got, why are you arguing with people who keep saying this ain't happening? These people are stupid. They dumb motherfuckers. They live in denial. This is no argument here. This makes no fucking sense. You cannot have a forest fire when the fucking trees don't burn. That supplies the fuel to the fire, to sustain the fire. This makes no sense. Who the fuck believe this nonsense? That's some normal fire. That makes no sense. And that's what's so annoying, that people can't simply, you know, see the obvious and say, wait a minute, this is bullshit. And then you got people that's arguing and trying to argue the fact of this bullshit and say that this is justified. It's not fucking justified. They lying. You know, this is bullshit. The fuck can you have a damn, none of the trees burn? It's ridiculous. None of the fucking trees burn. No leaves burn. They're not even scorched. And you got the cars melted to the fucking ground. Let me see can I find this damn semi truck. That shit is just unbelievable. Let me see can I find this picture. Cause this is outrageous to say this is some normal fire. Get the fuck out of here. Everybody is saying that this is not no normal fire. But you got fucking experts coming up there trying to tell you this is a normal fire. Get the fuck out of here. You trying to think I was born yesterday, motherfucker? Look at this. This is a semi truck. Do you see the scorch? There's no scorch on the trees. No, the trees are not burnt. This is a semi truck. How the fuck is a semi truck melted like that? And there is no scorch on the trees. The trees are not burnt at all. You look at all that foliage back there. All those leaves. Where the fuck, how the fire get there? Did it just burn on the vehicle? It makes no sense. This ain't no normal fire. You ain't, like I say, there's no debate here. You don't need to debate anybody. You don't need to debate anybody. Look at this, a trash can, unburnt, not melted at all, but the house back there burnt to the ground, or whatever the fuck that is behind there. I don't know if that's a house. Trees are not burnt. Look at all those trees back there. Look at these cars all melted. How is all those cars melted? The trees will be burning at 500 degrees, and the cars, you know, aluminum gonna be burnt, melting. I actually had to put the data up here to throw it in these fucking skeptic faces that this doesn't make no fucking sense. I said the melting point of alumina is 1,201 degrees Fahrenheit. And then steel is at 2,500 degrees. Wood start burning at 507 degrees. The leaves on the trees start burning in an open flame at 1,472 degrees. So that's in an open flame. The red flame on the leaves start burning at 1,000 degrees. the wood will burn it even, you know, lower temperature. So how the fuck can steel and aluminum be melted before the damn wood is even burnt on the trees? If this is a normal fire, it makes no sense. They lying to you. Just like 9/11, just like the Oklahoma City bombing, all those fucking lies they've been telling you. They play you for fools if you don't use your mind and think. So that's what I'm saying. They trying to burn most of fucking California to the ground. While we sit here, slow walk this whole build up the indictments. Like California got like 10,000 sealed indictments. When the fuck are they gonna use them and arrest these motherfuckers? We here slow walking and they trying to burn California down to the ground. What else they gonna try? You got dumb motherfuckers in Illinois trying to pass a tax that you try to leave the state. You got to pay a tax to leave the state. So what, is tyranny in Illinois now? That you can't even leave the state? You can't just freely travel out the state like everybody do, and you got to pay a tax just to leave? That's tyranny. That's tyrannical. Come on. And then you got this dumbass congressman talking about if they don't give up their guns, they're going to nuke them. What? These are the motherfuckers that revealing themselves evil. Then they try to steal the fucking election. Evil all around. Evil everywhere. Where the fuck, when the fuck are they going to do the mass arrests? And that's what I say, we sitting here still waiting for that. We still being disappointed over and over again. And you can't keep having people disappointed over and over again, because that's going to be a detriment to the whole idea we staying on the positive timeline. They're going to push us more and more to negative timeline. If the co-creator mass conscience supposed to play a role, well, you got people around you that's getting depressed and disillusioned and hopeless, then they become anti against the whole positive, you know, movement. They become negative to every fucking thing. You know, trying to get disclosure, they say no, ain't no be no disclosure, gonna be partial disclosure or whatever. I'll set up for that. They become burdens to humanity, not helpful to humanity. So that's why you can't keep having people depressed and disappointed. The alliance, like I say, sometimes they look like they don't know what the fuck they doing. It ain't fucking helping. And then like somebody say they see a Q-proof and everything, or they see this get happen, but it's moving too fucking slow. We are running out of time. We don't got all this time to keep slow walking this. And we got a critical 3-year window. We got to get that done in 3 years, or we not getting disclosure. Then the Draco is gonna be able to enslave the whole fucking galaxy. We ran out of time. We can't keep slow walking this. This need to move much faster. This ain't just coming from Corey Good, what he got from the Blue Haven. This Alex Collier saying this. We need to get this done. So that's what he getting from the Andromeda. So a lot of different sources saying we need to get this fucking done. And then Simon Pop told you that the reason those ships came out of the sun is they trying to speed up the sun to speed up us, to make us sin faster. Why are they in a rush if this is a natural process? Because there's a war going on. They need to get this done for the enemy to have a chance to do what they're going to do. And what they're trying to do is enslave, you know, everybody in AI. So you got to understand that we got to get this done. We can't keep sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It got to be a way to get the power out of this alliance to where they can determine when we're going to get disclosure, and we can put it in our hand, we can get it. And so that's what I'm going to be trying to figure out how the hell they do that, you know. So, because I still don't got that answer. I don't know what to do there. I don't know, you got to be brave and overcome a fear, and then some doors will start opening up for you. Like when you beat a special character on a game, and levels and, you know, boxes will start opening up with prizes and whatever. I don't know how that works, but you know, something needed change here. So that's what I'm going to figure out. I'm going to try to figure out how we do that, how we sit there, apply our mass consciousness to increase and speed up the process of disclosure, get this done much faster, because it has not been explained to me how the hell that works. You heard, but there is no detailed explanation how you do that, or step-by-step process that works. Not no step-by-step process that don't fucking do anything. Something that works. So that's what, I'm gonna be thinking about. So that's what I'm saying. We need to stop slow walking this. This alliance needs to stop slow walking this and speed this up much faster than they doing. I'm tired of looking at Q posts talking about this and that, and it's just slow walking everything. Some of the stuff I just don't care about. Just if the Pfizer supposed to start the mass arrest, let's drop the fucking Pfizer. I don't give a fuck about hearing Loretta Lynch testify. I don't care about that. Just drop fucking Pfizer. If you say you're gonna drop Pfizer, do it already. Since they're supposed to go expose every fucking thing. So that's what I say. This Q group, which might be connected to this Earth Line, they just fucking take you too fucking long for me. And so I say with that Corey Good article, SSP Alliance is still on the right track to get this done. Get full disclosure. Brandon Gullich, hey. Hi, Brandon. But y'all gotta understand that we gotta get this done. But I gotta figure out how the fuck we get this done. How do we go about doing that? Cause nobody out there ain't found this nowhere. How the hell did we, use our co-created content to the advantage? And it can't be no simple as meditating and all this shit and thinking happy thoughts, cause that don't seem to be working. Cause there's people already out there been doing that. Acting naive doing that and keep doing that, and ain't to no avail. So missing something we don't know what to do. Something is missing, cause it ain't working, and we don't know why it ain't working. We can't explain why it ain't working. We don't know, cause we got to figure that out. So I'm about to get off of here, cause I'm getting tired. But like I said, we got to find a way to use our co-creative mass conscience to speed up the process of disclosure. And like I said, I don't know how to do that. If I figure it out, I'll probably write a post explaining the details of how that works. But I'm going to have to think about that, because that's what we need to do. Because waiting on this weak-willed, cowardly alliance to do it ain't helping much. And they run into problems because they free will is being weakened, because they keep constantly living in fear. Because they have to be living in fear to keep secrets. Because those who sit there want to keep secrets are those in fear. So it's still based off the fear energy when you want to keep secrets. And they keep trying to control disclosure. So they constantly living in fear, so they constantly free will is getting constantly weaker. So in comparison, in contrast, our will is stronger. Because we're not living in fear, because we want to take the risk and get this done right away and deal with the consequences and the unknowns. So we facing it bravely. They doing it cowardly. They trying to control, suppress, control. And that's all living in fear. That's not helpful. It's not helpful keeping us on a positive timeline. So how the fuck we sit here and what we got to do to make this done? And so that's what I'm going to try to figure out. So I'm just going to come up with it. I don't know. I said if I get a chance, I'll probably just ask Lauren Eisenhower about it. She probably got some good ideas. She probably already know about this stuff and what I'm trying to ask. Because we need to learn how to do that. If the answer can be found, we need to learn how to do that. We need to learn how to sit there and use our co-creative mass consciousness. And we haven't been explained by anybody out there how the fuck you actually go about do that. That works, not by no fucking shit that don't work. They talk about you write your intents and desires down and you think about it as already happened and feel it happen. The shit ain't working. There's already people out there doing that. So it ain't fucking working. And there's a lot of people out there already doing that. So why it ain't working is the question. And how to make it work. And what is the encounters, the obstacles we going through to, that's going to stop this from working. And so all that I got to sit here and think about, or other people can think about. But if I get the answer, I'm going to post it. But it probably won't be an answer. It'll probably be a way how you do it, but probably gonna be like we're gonna encounter some resistance, so it ain't gonna be simple as we think it is. The plan going ahead to change that and with the dynamics, or the procedure going to change with the dynamics. So so that's what I'm saying. We got to sit here and take this power from this alliance that's trying to control Disclosure, so we can get it. And so that's the task for all of us, to figure out how the fuck we do that. And it's not enough for somebody to say, well, I figured that out and blah, 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 manifestation. Well, it's not working. We're not in this post-disclosure world. Until we get in the fucking post-disclosure world, then I believe it's fucking working. Because it ain't doing a damn thing. We need to be real about this and practical about it. How the fuck we get this done? And if we figure it out and figure out what we need to do, and then we get this goal, then we know we was right. You know. So I'm about to get off of here. I already got this on my Facebook. So if there's some YouTube people up here, you can find me on Facebook. You know. By Jermaine Chavis. You can find me on Facebook. So like I said, YouTube people, you can go there, go send me a friend request. But I can't do no lives because this AI sitting on that infest YouTube, and for some reason still ain't attacked my lives. They would not let me go live. They totally have blocked me. They just say I got a connection problem, which doesn't make any sense. So it's just gonna keep saying that ad infinitum, you know, forever. Just gonna keep saying that. They ain't giving no explanation. Ain't telling me when the ban is lifted. Nothing. They ain't giving me nothing. And at this point, with all the friends I got on Facebook, I would be having probably 100, 200 live viewers watching me talking about this stuff. So I already be famous or popular overnight if I could go live right then, but they won't let me go live. And also I got almost 300 followers. So there you go. You know, they see me as a threat. You know, obviously they see me as a threat. Look at the efforts they're going through to make sure they suppress me. So like I said, I'm all up here on YouTube, and I ain't even got half or a quarter of my friends, you know, subscribe to me from YouTube. So I got to go build that up to start reaching a lot of people again. So they didn't put me over here in this ghetto. But y'all have a good night. I don't know if I'm gonna go live tomorrow, depending on what news drop. But I see y'all when I see you.